Hey folks, this is Robert over here at Simply Being Shipley. Today we're going to do a little bit of a different type of video, and let me know how you like it. I'm going to start trying to get you some of my opinions and comment on the Harley Davidson news and events and things that go on. Now this is a shot of my bike, Jade Shadow. She's a 21 Road King Special, my beloved co-partner in all my misadventures. Let's get on to what we're going to be talking about today. Hey guys, welcome out. Today we're going to have a fun video. We're going to talk a little bit about the new touring models that Harley has come out with here in 2024. Specifically, I'm going to focus on the Street Glide and the Road Glide because fundamentally everything else follows. So the major changes there. Everything but the frame is different, just about. So we're going to start there. We're going to talk about these bikes. Let's start in, where should we start? Let's take a look at the bikes in person. I'm going to get a little clip of going to the dealership and seeing these. We're going to talk about them, talk about some of the colors, things like that. And then we're going to get a little bit more analytical about what is it that we're actually looking at. So thanks for this video. Caution, it is an opinion video, and I'm going to make fun of a bunch of shit. So let's get into it, and here we go. Okay guys, shout out to Thunder Mountain Harley Davidson and my boy Jesse over there. If you need anything when you're in the Boulder or Denver area, go see Jesse. Now these are the new Road Glides. We're gonna get into depth on these in a bit. See that baby blue right there that's going off the screen? I hate that color. The green's good, the black's good, the blue's pretty good. Here's coming from the other side. Notice the fairing. There's something that should be standing out to you. We're gonna get to it. Inside's pretty good. Yeah, if it's Road Glide, right? I think it stays true to the heritage overall, but there's something that just bothers the shit out of me. We'll get into that in a bit. And down there, that baby blue, that fifth bike down there, I don't know why they came out with that. It looks like an Easter egg. It's too pastel. I just don't get it. But to each their own. If you love it, you love it. Now these things I'm really digging, the Street Glides. The fairing's amazing. The inside, fabulous. Tanks, some of the back end, seats, pretty good. I really love the fairing on here. I'm interested to see what happens when they come out with the Ultra Limited. If they're still going to have the running lights in some shape, way, form up front. If not, I'm going to greatly miss those. But this fairing is, I think, has been done and updated perfectly. Okay, so let's start by looking at the heart of the new bikes. This new 117 engine, a little different from the other 117s. Let's get a little bit of details on it. The most important three things to know about it, okay, is that the engine torque is now 130 foot-pounds. The horses is 105 at 4,600 RPM, and the miles per gallon are 44 miles per gallon claimed-ish, around about, okay? Now, there's a lot of technical whiz-bang stuff in here. Hundreds and thousands of YouTube channels are already going to cover all the little nit-noy details about how it operates, how it generates these numbers, the type of metal that's in it, etc. We're not going to get into any of that right now. We're going to be getting just the basics and seeing if these bikes make sense. So this is the new 117. Now, we're going to compare this to the outgoing model. Okay, now, I'm not going to turn into one of those grumpy old men that says that they don't make them like they used to anymore. This here is the quote-unquote old 114, the outgoing engine. It's what I have on Jade Shadow. Now, let's look at the numbers on it. You're going to have an engine torque of 122, which is what, 8 foot-pounds less? And you have a horsepower of 95 that comes on at about 5,000 RPM, right? So 10 horsepower less on this, a little higher in the rev range before that horsepower kicks in. Okay. Fuel economy claimed is 43 miles per gallon. I can say the miles per gallon, the fuel economy is a wash between the two engines. But here's my question. If you forget all the new doohickeys, the bigger touchscreen, the louder audio, the suspension components, and I'll tell you why we're forgetting them, but right now we're going to forget them. If you have a bike that you love right now, that you're happy with, and these new bikes are making you think about trading in and getting something new because it's got more of everything. Does it really? Is 8 foot-pounds and 10 horsepower enough of a performance gain to make you trade in your bike and take on a whole new purchase? Something to think about. Because I'll tell you what, Jade Shadow, she's not putting out 122 foot-pounds of torque and 95 horsepower. She's putting out a heck of a lot more, and the stuff coming up that we're going to be doing to her, it definitely is going to really, really outstrip this. Bottom line, 85% of people, they're going to come in and they're going to, and we'll get more into this later, they're going to take their bike and they're going to modify it to get the type of style and driving and performance that they're looking for. Now, I understand going from the 103, 110 error to the 107, 114 error. That is a huge night and day difference. But is this really a big jump as far as performance? Something to think about. Let's take a closer look at the Street Glide now, the old and the new. Let's look at the real estate. Now, these two pictures are scaled side by side based on the tank size, so they should be pretty darn close. And you'll see that that fairing takes up about the same amount of real estate. There are some things that I love about the old fairing on the right, the white fairing, especially those passing lamps that are on here that you can put on there. I absolutely love that. But the new fairing, more industrial, the windshield on it, the embedded lighting, the technology, all very amazing. You'll see the styling element difference on the tanks. It's a wash for me. Which one's better? I do like the new fairing better, but that old fairing is going to live in my heart forever. There's always going to be a place for that. Overall, the bike dimensions and footprint, visual real estate as well as moving real estate, the bike is relatively the same. Okay, let's get up and personal. I'm going to give you a second just to let that sink in. Now, see what I mean about the more industrial windshield setup on top, better venting. I love the square effect on the center light. I am very, very, very excited to see how that's going to transition at some point to the Road King. But I love that center light. I love the light elements in the wings of the Batwing. How effective are they compared to those added on passing lamps that were on the previous model? I don't know yet, but I'd be interested to see. Absolutely better blinker system. I got you there, but how good is it at lighting up the road and seeing the things that are not only in front of you, but coming along the sides? I don't know, and I am interested to find out. Overall, the engineers did great on this Batwing. Unless there's something funky about the angle of the steering wheel when they took this picture, though. I don't know why you have the lever over on the left side hanging lower than over on the right side. When I saw these bikes on the showroom floor, that wasn't the case. I don't know what the funkiness is in this picture off the Harley website, but yeah, those levers look kind of weird. Now let's move around a little bit. From this angle, there's some even better highlights. One, that rear view mirror that's coming around, I think is perfectly formed and positioned and really highlights both the windscreen up top and the front light. It's a little boxier. You'll see it peeking out on the edge of the wing there. I really like it. The hip profile and the profile of that seat when you're coming from this angle also look extremely good. I'm very excited about this bike. I just am. This is definitely a move in the right direction. Now, we all know a bike's got to look sexy from the front and sides, but it's also got to look sexy right here in the cockpit, because this is what you're going to be looking at all day long when you're on your bike. And if you have this bike, you better be spending all day on it. Now, you see those side view mirrors there? See what I mean by how they're squared off on the ends? I think that fits the new aesthetic. Amazing. It is great. The center console, huge, bold, bright, should have no problem in the sunlight. I like it. The way they integrated the speaker covers, I think are easy to upgrade with aftermarket speaker system, sound system, but they're very stylish, have a very custom look to it. And that center tray that comes out. Handlebar positioning is great. No complaints at all on any of this. I really like the directions and the risk that Harley took on this key piece. Now, the one thing that it's missing, since there's no special line to these bikes anymore, is the painted inner fairing. This plastic is okay. I mean, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's very stylish, but where's my painted inner fairing, Harley? Let's move on to the Road Glide now. Okay, now it's time. Oh boy, here it comes. That I upset a lot of people. And you see the profile on the old fairing and the new fairing? I mean, do you notice the glaring thing that's sticking out in the room? The big difference? Tanks are fine. Wheels are fine. Handlebars, dramatically different, but that's okay. That's okay, they work. But why did they make the new fairing so freaking huge? It is a monster sitting on there. I really think, and we're going to get some bigger views of this, but I really think that it's unbalancing the bike visually. I don't know if that's going to change the amount of weight to front to back ratio. I don't know if it's that big a deal, but I do know that it is a huge part of the visual space of the bike. I'm not convinced that you're going to reap any rewards in aerodynamics from it. I mean, maybe a little bit, I don't know. But it's not going to be like you're getting a dramatic better coverage. That thing is just monstrous. And yes, here it comes. I'm thinking of something. This is reminding me of something else. Where have I seen this before? Come on. Somebody out there has got to know where I've seen this before. That's right. You got it. Spaceballs. Darth helmet. This bike looks, compared to the old Road Glide, in my opinion, like the old Darth helmet from Spaceballs. The play on Darth Vader. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to call the Road Glide, the new Road Glide, Helmet Glide from now on. This is being dubbed officially Helmet Glide. Now, if I upset you, come on, let's have some fun with this. This bike, I'm sorry. In person, it's even worse than these pictures. This bike is butt ugly because of how big this frickin' fairing is. Now, it really doesn't stop there. This bike, oh my goodness. Yes, the windshield up top, industrial look, like it. The big vent, like it. And that's it. This thing, the fairing sticks out to the side so far. And it comes into the driver on the edges. It's just, oh my goodness, it is so freaking big. What is that song, Anaconda Buns Hun something? Well, this is the bike for you if you like that. Now, one other thing. Take a look at the shaping that's done to the plastic fairing underneath the two dips in the bottom swooping lighted area. It looks like jowls on a bulldog. The bottom right, bottom left corner of the fairing. Does it really improve aerodynamics a little bit? Here it is from another angle. Look at that. It looks like it's got jowls. I'm ready for this bike to start drooling. I don't get it. This fairing does not appeal to me in the slightest. Everybody that I have listened to online, my peers reviewing bikes, are all oohing and awing over this fairing. I don't get it. Okay, now the cockpit. Yeah, you know, the windshield, the vent look good. The instrument cluster looks good. The speaker covers look good. The handlebars look good. The glove boxes on either side underneath the speakers, they're bigger. I get it. It's a vast improvement. I like what they've done here as far as the design of what this offers. I think it doesn't need to be in this freaking huge package, however. Man, I'm sorry. I know I am beating the helmet glide to death here, but this fairing is killing me. Okay, let's look at the rest of the bike, because once you get past the fairing, they're identical. So look at what we got here. Everything here is tastefully done, except there just seems to me to be too much space on the left or front of the bike, in front of the cylinders and behind the cylinders before you get back into the meat of the bike. I don't know. There's that little boxy looking to that wedge that covers your battery and all that good stuff right under the main part of the seat. It's a little boxy for my taste, but it's okay. It just gives this bike, I don't know, too much of a waspy look. And then you get back to these bags. And these bags look like gigantic hips. I don't know. I think that the bags are just a little bit too much for me as far as, again, visual real estate. It's like they're trying to make the bike look bigger on the front and bigger in the back and smaller in the middle. You know, and what is that, a corset, a gusset, whatever women call that thing that wraps around the middle and makes it thinner? I don't think that's a good thing. Matter of fact, let's take a look back here on the bags. Now, did they do a good job with the lighting in between the bag and the bike on either side of the wheel? Yes, I dig that. But the bags, man, having them go up in volume as you go higher and more forward just gives it a weird effect. For trying to design a performance bagger, giving more width, I don't think is necessarily the best goal to have. The bike looks unbalanced visually, and I don't know. Again, I don't know what they're trying to do here visually. I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not, and that's for both of them. I do know, because I saw some people try this, you can take the old bags, whether from a standard touring bike or from a special touring bike, and get the stretch bags, and they go on here just fine. You can also take these off and put them on an old 114, get that? And they work just fine. It's the same plug and play type of stuff. But I think that you have some of the bike trying to be a performance bagger. You have some of the bike trying to be, I don't know, a belly dancer. The hips don't lie. I don't know. You tell me what you think about this. I want your opinion. Maybe they'll grow on me over time. As of right now, not a big fan. Placement of the license plate down there, I like that. That's pretty good. Lighting wise, everything looks good on here. I don't have any problems with anything that this here has to offer. Okay, enough of the soapbox type of stuff. Let's get back into the office and let's have a little talk. Okay, guys. So, it's been a wee bit of a teaser video. I was a little harder on the bikes than what they deserve, especially the Road Glide, Helmet Glide. It's really not that bad. But here's the thing that I want to get at. We started out the video going over some of the stats. And yeah, the 117, the new engine is better. The suspension on the bikes has been improved. Some of the ergonomics have been improved. The bags have been changed. There's a lot of little really cool things that have been done. And all of the improvements have been in the right direction, right? Harley Davidson has definitely stepped up the game. I think these bikes have definitely put to bed, at least for now, the argument of which is better, the Indians, especially the Challenger and the Harleys. I think Harley is clearly back in the forefront in everybody's book that is thinking clearly at this point. That being said, and they also did great lowering the price. The overall price, when you factor in the changes, they didn't rip anybody's heads off, which is a nice change compared to a lot of the increases that have been happening over the last decade. So yeah, all of that's moving in the right direction. But here's the thing. For the extra tiny bit of actual performance improvement, any existing 114 with the slightest modifications that 85% of people are going to do right out of the box, exhaust, breathers, basic stuff, you already have that performance. Now, yes, you can do a little bit of modifications to the 117, but it's going to be insignificant. Now, for anybody that power makes a difference, that is out there actually seeking a different type of ride than you can get from the 114, the 117 isn't the answer, because you can easily do everything that you need to your 114 without having to go out there and buy a whole new bike. Especially with the day and age that we live in, and all the stresses and all the trauma and all the global conflict and the dollar not going as far as it used to, there is a psychological reward for buying stuff. Psychologically, you're telling yourself, hey, I'm above it. I'm not affected by all these things going on. I deserve to treat myself. All the little conversations you have in your head to justify. But in the end, all of that is just because we're stressed and we want something new in our life to take our focus off all the crap that's going on. I really don't think that the majority of the 114 owners are going to really be in any better position by upgrading at this point. We still have a ways to go. It's so much easier to get the better suspension than what's coming on these bikes, better power, more responsiveness, better handling, just by doing modifications on your 114 that meet your riding style, meet who you are and what you want to project with your bike. You don't need to run out and buy one of these bikes right now. That's my opinion. If you want to, and you're one of the few people that actually truly has the disposable cash, and you're just like, the hell with it, that's fine, great, do you. But if you're not, don't feel pressured to go do this. You can get the same dopamine rush by modifying your bike, doing the small tweaks, really making it yours. The 114 is probably going to have a very long life, just because it is so easy to do stuff to, and get the numbers, get the handling, get all that you're looking for. So don't feel pressured. Enjoy where Harley's going. For myself, and I have a problem with bikes. Those that have been watching this channel know that in the last 6 years, I've had 4 brand new bikes. I'm going to stick with Jade. Jade Shadow has been treating me extremely well. I've got a lot of things I want to do with her. Yeah, I do spend ridiculous amounts of money on her. But Harley's got to put out a lot more in order to get me to want to get a new bike at this point. The difference has got to be like going from the 103, 110 to the 114. It's got to be a significant change. Yeah, there's new technology, there's new screens, there's great. I'm not a fairing guy. I want to be a fairing guy, but every time I get on the bikes, I just get more enjoyment out of the Road King. So the technology that I want in the bike, I'm going to put in the bike. So for me, staying where I'm at is good at this point. I'm still going broke. Believe me, my wife reminds me all the time. I'm still going broke because of my bike. So we're not lacking in that department. However, I don't feel the need to go out and switch out motorcycles with this newest generation. Not yet. Maybe in 4 or 5 years, maybe something's going to be done that is significant enough that I'll say, hey, that's better than what I could do on my own, on my current bike. And then I'll consider it. But I can't say enough. I talk to friends and riders all the time, and getting on this hype that is generated by YouTubers like me and everybody else out there that make you want to go and continuously be part of that consumerism, get the newest, latest, greatest thing. It's truly unnecessary. Riding is about community. It's about mental health, happiness, and challenging yourself. Don't lose focus on that, because when you get into bikes are there just to buy shit and not there to make your life better, that's when you start losing the passion of riding. That's a sad thing. I don't want to see anybody lose the passion of riding. So keep it real. Keep your wheels on the ground. If you have any questions, any comments, please, I'd love to have them, good or bad. If I've upset anybody by talking about the helmet glide, it's all in fun. But keep it real. And no matter what, ride to enjoy and improve your life, whatever form that takes. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.